Quickly, Russia's also threatened nuclear escalation. Are you comfortable with that when people at home are watching this, worrying that you could put us at risk?
Well, it's very
Nuclear war?
important. It's very important that we're steadfast in our support for Ukraine. Russia is the aggressor,
Even
and
if it
Russia
unleashes nuclear war?
Russia has to be the one that makes the move to stop this war. It's within their gift, but we must support Ukraine. It's impacting not just Ukraine; it's impacting the rest of the world, including the UK.
Is your message to viewers back home that there will not be a nuclear war, because that is what Russia is threatening?
My message is that we need to ensure that Ukraine is put in the best possible position. This is 1,000 days of conflict, and there is a very high cost if Russian aggression is seen to pay off. To do.
Alrighty, guys, welcome back to Conservative Confucius here. So big news on the table right now, guys. Possible initiation into nuclear war. Putin has already made the threats, that they have violated, and they've gone against it and said, okay, well, screw your threats. We're going to do anything anyways. And instead of just not listening to those threats, they did something which is an automatic declaration of nuclear war and against another nuclear power. And that is the U.S. is in talks right now with Ukraine to give them nuclear missiles, which is a declaration that any world leader, no matter who they are, even if our ally, we got in an argument with our ally, and then we gave their enemy, the enemy of our ally, if we say we got in a big argument, we're like, okay, we might cut ties. And, even though we've been friends for 100+ years, and then we go, okay, well, we're going to arm your enemies while we're in this argument. Okay, we're not friends with Russia, and we're doing the same thing. We've never been allies with Russia, and we're doing the same thing. Even if we were, so in the other example, former ally, and we arm their enemies, they would instantly take that as a declaration of war. And if it was nuclear, if we were arming them nuclearly, that would be declaration of nuclear war, which they would have to act on to not seem weak on the world stage, which Russia, of all people, is unwilling to do. So we're looking at this not just as a former ally, example like I was making. This is a actual enemy that is literally possibly getting nuclear weapons put on their doorstep. The idiots in our current government not doing the right things and seemingly almost pushing us closer and closer to World War III is insane. To nuclear World War III. A nuclear holocaust is what this would be. And people who are saying, oh, you shouldn't be worried. Oh, we've had so many threats in the past in so many different countries and blah, blah, blah. No, this is real. And the fact that we have leaders on both sides of all this shit that continually try to push each other's buttons just for the hell of it and say, oh, well, we need to support our allies. This is not about supporting our allies. This is about furthering money laundering through an ongoing conflict. And we all know that. And because of me saying stuff like this, even though I've made it very clear that Putin is a dictator and I'm not a fan of Russia's government at all, because I have some viewers in Russia and a decent amount, about I think it's 10% of my viewership is in Russia. Because of that, and because I'm making videos on this ongoing conflict, I was rejected monetization by YouTube. So everyone who's seeing this, just know that if you actually start talking about things that matter, I'm not saying that the Israeli conflict doesn't matter. I'm just saying that I've never, the Israeli conflict doesn't affect the U.S. in the global stage as much as this conflict, the other conflict does. So the Russia-Ukraine conflict, it didn't really affect much. And I talked about it very openly in the past. They didn't care. Now they do. Literally, they released a statement saying anybody who talks about Russia, in a way that they don't like, anyone that has any ad companies that are based in Russia, they won't allow that. Any Russian YouTubers, they can't do it. I'm not Russian. I'm not pro-Russia. I'm not connected to them in any way. And yet I am being silenced, basically, in a way, by YouTube. They're saying, okay, well, you can make your videos, but we're not going to put them in the algorithm. We're not going to do this. Luckily, my subscriber count is still growing rapidly right now. Over the last week, it's jumped up over 1,300. So I'm very happy about that. But it has nothing to do with YouTube and everything to do with my own growth. So and they're going to be hindering my growth after this. I was just rejected yesterday. So they're going to be hindering my growth from now on. So please, guys, make sure you go down there, hit that subscribe button. It's really going to help me out. It really does. And so for all of you guys to get up to this point, I think we're at 8,400 or about that. I really appreciate you guys helping me out and going down there and doing that. Make sure you guys hit the bell, get all my good stuff. Don't forget to go down there and hit that like button as well, and leave a comment and share this video if you guys like it. Go check out my my Streamlabs merch store at streamlabs.com/conservative-confucius/merch. This is one of our great new shirts. It's Team America. As you can see, we got everybody on there, and we got the American flag and my logo too. Yeah, I mean everything. It's great quality. This is the obviously woman's shoulder stuff. So this isn't the Carhartt material one. This is just a nice regular t-shirt with nice clean prints on it. So I would check those out, guys. Don't forget to go check out my Discord either. Alrighty, so let's get right into this, guys. So we opened up with this stupid clip of Keir Starmer basically just saying, yeah, Russia's threatening nuclear war, but hey, but what about Ukraine? We have to help them. But what about Ukraine? It's like, are you kidding me? I was posted by Charlie Sampson, by the way. There we go. So breaking news, Biden officials discussing giving nuclear weapons to Ukraine. This is from Jack Posobiec at Jack Poso. This is an article from Zero Hedge. We're going to get into those and a few other articles. So as you can see, this is big news. Desperate bolster to Ukraine standing in the war before the transition of power on January 20th. Biden administration is looking at a range of serious escalations. U.S. and European officials are discussing deterrence as a possible security guarantee for Ukraine, such as stockpiling a conventional arsenal sufficient to strike a punishing blow if Russia violates a ceasefire. The article continues. Several officials even suggesting that Mr. Biden could return nuclear weapons to Ukraine that were taken from it after the fall of the Soviet Union, which is unbelievable. According to some officials who spoke with the Times, the administration believes that the Russian President Vladimir Putin won't significantly escalate the war until Trump returns to the office, which is bullshit. It's the opposite. But the escalation risk of allowing Ukraine to strike Russia with U.S.-supplied weaponry has diminished with the election of Mr. Trump. The report says Biden administration officials believe calculating that Putin of Russia knows that he has to only wait 2 months for the new administration, which is true, which he means he's going to try to do peace things and not attack during that. Because if that was true, he would have attacked during Trump in the previous time, and he didn't. Every time Trump's been in, when Trump was in office previously, Russia did not do these things. And they actually put a lot of sanctions on Russia, and he still didn't do anything. So we have to look at this realistically. Is that another one? Okay. This is from Reuters right here. Russia condemns irresponsible talk of nuclear weapons with Ukraine. Moscow Reuters discussion in the West about arming Ukraine with nuclear weapons is absolutely irresponsible. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov said on Tuesday in response to the report in the New York Times, citing unidentified officials who suggested such a possibility. The New York Times reported last week that some identified Western officials had suggested that U.S. President Joe Biden could give nuclear weapons before he leaves office. Several officials even suggested that Mr. Biden could return nuclear weapons to Ukraine that were taken before the fall of the Soviet Union. This would be an instant and enormous deterrent, but such a step would be complicated and have serious implications. No crap. This is from the U.S. News. Russia condemns. Okay, this is basically the same thing. Let's see. Yeah, same basic thing. All right, so this is. I believe I'm not. I don't agree with everything Marjorie Taylor Greene has to say, but what is going on with this article? Come on. Whatever. Well, Marjorie Taylor Greene suggests Biden is starting nuclear war in Russia. I agree. See, there we go. Stop this stupid thing. There we go. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene has suggested that Biden administration is trying to start a nuclear war. I believe that maybe whether it's in starting a nuclear war or just escalating this to a point where it's uncontrollable to calm down, I believe that is what the Biden administration is doing. They acted all friendly in their meeting with Trump, but really they are so jilted by being ousted by Kamala and ending up. I'm guessing he feels that losing or the lost election is not just Kamala's fault, but if he had been in office and still was running, or he is in office, but if he was still running for office again, this wouldn't have happened in his opinion. And I'm not saying it would, or he would have won, or he would have lost. I don't know. I think he would have still lost. But the point is, I'm guessing he believes that he is that he should have been the nominee, and that because Kamala lost, it is now, basically he's jilted by this. He's basically like a jilted lover who wants revenge on the people who screwed him over, the woman who screwed him over, and that's Kamala, and I guess in a way Trump, which is why he's trying to ruin this current, the ending of his administration by starting war and ruining the future coming administration of Trump by basically getting him stuck handling only that and not being able to take on the projects and the issues he really wanted to fix. So that's my opinion on this. Yeah, I mean, basically, this is just her talking about this. The world is no nearer to nuclear war than it was before the latest Russian invasion and nuclear. This was said by Michael Clark, a professor in the Department of War Studies, but I never trust those people. Central balance of a strategic nuclear deterrent between Russia and the West hasn't changed for the last 50 years, really. Then why are we talking about giving them nukes? Mutual deterrence is designed precisely to shield the major powers and coincidentally the rest of the world against reckless nuclear threats. He didn't make a reckless nuclear threat. He said, stop. If you attack the interior of Russia, we will be within our means to use nuclear weapons. I don't think he should have said that, but I don't think that's a wild, statement. It's not just a wild threat. That's what we would say is if someone tried to attack us by firing missiles into the U.S., a foreign country, we would not only threaten nuclear deterrence or threaten nuclear action, but we would probably just do it without even saying anything. That's I don't understand why we don't hold other countries to the same level of threat. Like if they threaten us, if we make a threat to someone else, they know we mean it. But why do we not take their threat seriously? Even if they aren't serious, it's responsible to take it seriously. We can't just say, oh, well, they haven't done it before, and we've had these threats in the past. Like, look at the Cuban Missile Crisis, nothing happened, blah, blah, blah. No, that's not the way you handle things. Just like the Cuban Missile Crisis was taken seriously, this needs to be taken seriously. And the reason the Cuban Missile Crisis was taken seriously is because it was serious. And because we took it seriously, nothing happened. If we had taken it like just lying down, then obviously I'm guessing something would have happened, whether it was nuclear or something else. We need to be taking this crap seriously. And the fact that we aren't is going to be our downfall, and is going to be serious damage to not just our country, not just Russia, not just Ukraine, but the entire world. I don't think people understand what they're dealing with. Yes, it is true that no side ever really wants to use a nuke because it will cause destruction upon themselves. Also, but that doesn't mean that they won't do it if they feel they are being backed into a corner enough. It's that simple. The U.S. felt like they were being backed into a corner enough, and we used it against Japan. What do you think we're doing to other country, to Russia right now? We need to be making sure that this doesn't escalate and that Russia understands that if they mess with us, we will end them. So we have to do both, but we cannot just sit there and further ourselves closer and closer and closer to nuclear, war. That's insane. It's insane. All righty, guys. So that's going to be it for this one. Don't forget to go down there. Please make sure you guys go down there and hit the subscribe button. It really helps me out since, YouTube's screwing me over right now with the whole monetization thing. Don't forget to go hit the like button too. Leave a comment if you guys like this, and share the video as well. Don't forget to go check out my Discord server. If you guys if you guys have any knowledge or any lawyers, any companies, that help out people who are being screwed over by YouTube for whether it's monetization or other things, please send me the information of that on my Discord server at Conservative Confucius Server. Also, guys, go check out my merch store. You got this dope ass merch in. We saw you guys probably saw the Trump Thug Life shirt with the Trump with gold teeth. So go check out those on our website. Alrighty, guys, have a good one. I will catch you in the next one.